No entry from there. I will give him first act from here. If you don't mind, Jazakallah. This way, guys.
It's a busy day at the Mubarak Mosque in Islamabad, England.
No worries.
Captain Amine is on duty on his usual security shift.
The bag, you should put it there in the corner. My dear brother, from this way, if you don't mind.
A young officer in the Moroccan army, he was rapidly rising in its ranks until he discovered Ahmadiyyat and left everything behind for his faith. Now his story is being publicly told for the first time. Captain Amine comes from a religious family of Sunni Sufi Muslims. His story begins much earlier, some 75 years ago, when shortly before passing away, his great-grandfather, a holy man, was informed by Allah of a magnificent event in the history of the world.
The grandfather of my dad, he used to have a zawiya, like kind of a madrasa. In Sufism, we call it zawiya, mean like a markaz. So a lot of people will come to seek his prayers, seek his guidance, and also seek knowledge. Despite that, he have a lot of children and grandchildren. He chose my dad. And he said to him, go to this movement there and do the call of azan. And if someone tried to stop you, because it was not the time of azan, it was like in the morning, just say to them, Musa'aban. This is a phrase in Moroccan language, which it means the imam of the age has come. The imam who is supposed to come in the end of the time has come.
Two generations later, Captain Amine, who was not yet born, would be guided to accept the promised Messiah, facing court-martial and imprisonment for his faith. Morocco is a vibrant country nestled in the north of Africa alongside the Atlantic Ocean. With a population of 37 million, 99% of Moroccans are Sunni Muslim. The official religion of the country is Islam. In much of the Arab and Muslim world, the authorities deem Ahmadi Muslims a threat to the existing clergy and the status quo, prevented from publicizing or even fully practicing their faith.
We are tolerated, but we are not allowed to practice our Ahmadiyyat openly.
There are some 800 Ahmadis in the country, most of them native Moroccans who accepted Ahmadiyyat just after watching MTA.
According to the law, we are not allowed to do tabligh. Tabligh in Morocco is not allowed, not only for Ahmadis, for all the minorities.
While serving on the front lines in the Moroccan military, 3 officials would hear about the arrival of the promised Messiah alayhi salam. Their lives would converge, and soon they would convert, immediately giving up everything for their faith. Due to concerns for their safety, 2 of them cannot be identified in this film. That's why we'll be following the journey of just one of them, Muhammad Amin Araki, also known as Captain Amine. Born and raised in the coastal city of Casablanca, Captain Amine was guided by Allah towards Ahmadiyyat since his teenage years, step by step.
My dad, he used to gather all of us and he used to tell us the stories about like the first Khilafat after Holy Prophet ﷺ, the stories about companions and their sacrifice, their love for Holy Prophet ﷺ. And this matter that there are no fifth Khalifa, it got me so like so deep in my heart. It's such a sadness that why there are no fifth Khalifa.
A few years later, he has a life-changing dream.
I saw myself stand in front of Khana Kaaba, and a lot of people doing tawaf. And suddenly a man, he was sitting in a big chair, and a strong young man, they are carrying this chair and doing tawaf in Khana Kaaba. So I was standing there and I was just astonished from this glory of this man, you know. And I just asked, who is the man? And someone near me, he just said to me, هذا النبي خالك Muhammad. This is the prophet, your uncle Muhammad. So when I woke up from the dreams, I was like so scared. And I was like, because I know he's not really Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the dreams.
The significance of that dream becomes much clearer a little later. In his last year of college studying aeronautical engineering, Captain Amine has another dream.
I was standing with two gentlemen. Three of us were wearing Moroccan military clothes. And the king of Morocco is walking in front of us. And he's just removing our rank. Despite I was not thinking to join the army, I never ever have thought that I will join the army. My big dream was to go to France, finish my studies, and be an engineer in aeronautic. So for some reason, for some financial reason and stuff, this dream couldn't be a reality.
Soon after, he joins the prestigious Royal Military Academy to serve in Morocco's armed forces.
The Royal Academy is one of the most honorable schools of officer in the world. So it was a great honor at that time.
It's a key institution. It is regarded with patriotism, with respect, with loyalty. They are very highly regarded and respected by the society. And they are paid well, and it's a good job in Morocco.
While training, he's taught values which directly contradict his religious upbringing.
They say to us that you are half of God. You should not do this, you should do that, you know, you should walk this way, and you should always look nice, you should do that, you know. You have such respect of yourself, there are a bit of arrogance in it. This is what I say to you, the paradox inside you. You know, this Sophie education with the army education is like, I try always to not forget which background I'm coming from.
Upon graduation as a first lieutenant, almost 5 years later, he's posted directly to a war zone in the Western Sahara.
It was under my command. 8 kilometers of Moroccan border. 8 kilometers, more than 150 men, a lot of material, come in by like decision by the king, who is the supreme chief of army himself. So the decision is coming from him, signed by him. Just to show you that our position was very, very sensitive.
While serving here, a fellow senior officer becomes a close friend and starts to introduce him and another soldier to Ahmadiyyat.
So they discuss about Ahmadiyyat. In the first, he said to me that in first it was difficult to spread Ahmadiyyat, but he do it secretly through the people who are close to him. And who are close to him is Amin, and he has to share this. Okay, this is not easy.
And a lot of like tafsir from Quran. I was just like, and everything he said to me, it makes sense. And subhanAllah, I didn't even argue with him. I just like what he's saying. I just want him to continue talking.
You know, when you discover that the promised Messiah, that Imam Mahdi has come, you cannot keep it for yourself. You must say it to others.
He said that I found a video of a gentleman defending the honor of Allah and Allah Almighty and the Holy Prophet ﷺ and his wives. And when I was listening to this video, I just get amazed. The argument and the knowledge, it was too much. So a video take you to another video. This is how it starts. And then he found out that these people, they are pretending that the Imam of the age has come. And these people, they are like they are in the field more than 125 years. Too much knowledge in 1 hour he gave me. And I realized that he himself is quite convinced. And he gave me it was an MP3. And he said to me, listen to this qasida because I know that you love poet. He really knocked me down. It's describing what we are living in the Muslim world. not just in the Muslim world, in all the world, not just Muslim world, such, I couldn't like, it was like proper 7 to 8 minutes. إلى الدنيا أوى حزب الأجاني.
إلى الدنيا أوى حزب الأجاني وحسبوها جنى حلو المجاني.
And guess what? He said to me, do you like it? I said, of course, this is amazing. He said, so the gentleman who wrote this qasida was Imam Mahdi himself.
The CMTA convinced.
You can't imagine, but we are in war zone. You can't imagine we are in a war zone. We don't have electricity 24 hours. We are just using solar panel, and we have to wait all day for the batteries to get charged that you can watch 1 or 2 hours. I was not Ahmadi. I didn't know much about Ahmadiyas. Just what my ex-colleague told me about it. First, it was a recording of a khutbah, Friday sermon. And I got this feeling in my heart that I will be standing near this man. I don't know how. It was just an impression, a feeling. Call it whatever you want. It was something in my heart. After the khutbah, it came a nazam. They played the nazam, which I came to see the picture of Messiah Maud for the first time. Allah showed me this face, this man, a while ago. So, and automatically when I saw his picture, it clicked in my mind. The dream, when I was like 13, 14, the man doing tawaf. The dream came like fresh in my mind. So I just went and opened one book of Tafsir Ahlam ibn Sirin, and I found out that the man who was doing tawaf is kind of masoom. And the picture of Messiah Maud, the same man I saw when I was like 13, 14, who was doing tawaf. In such far place, war zone, there are no connection, there are no Wi-Fi, there are no desert, there are nothing. Al-Ahmadiyat will come.
وما من ملجأ من دون رب كريم قادر كهف الزمان.
And he called me after he was convinced 100% that Ahmadiyya is the true Islam. First day he didn't say that I am a military man and I am Sahara, that I am interested in. So I was happy because that time we don't have more Ahmadis in Morocco. So when someone call us, we are happy. So I was excited to see him. He came to Marrakesh with his family. He do salat with us. I don't think it was a trap because he was so emotional. When you see someone who speaks the truth from his face, his iman came first for him. That's why he contacted me.
The military police, however, have somehow heard the conversation.
Then after this, the news disappeared. I don't have any news from him until the police contacted me to do investigation about him. Do you know that he's military? I said, yes, I know. Then he started to ask questions about Ahmadiyyat, and they focus a lot on money. Did he give you money? How many time? How much? Chanda, you understand?
At the time, Dr. Sahibi's phone was like under surveillance of the agencies.
When I first heard that he's in military, I told him not to be in contact with Jamaat, to keep this to himself. But they knew.
They interrogate and warn one of the 3 soldiers.
They just say to him, stop what you are doing, don't contact anyone, sign for this paper that you will not contact anyone and go back to your position, finish. This it was kind of like a yellow card for all of us, 3 of us, that we have to be more careful. But because we know that they will not have any mercy of us, they will give example for us. This is the sad reality. And we know this for sure.
Gunmen armed with automatic weapons and grenades have stormed two mosques in Pakistan. They struck when members of the minority Ahmadiyat sect in Lahore had just gathered for Friday prayers. The coordinated attacks left 80 dead and dozens more wounded.
The turning point in my journey in Ahmadiyyat is the Lahore attack. I was not Ahmadi. I didn't do any bayat. This attack affected me in such a way that this kind of sacrifice only holy Jamaat can do. It's the stand of Jamaat itself through Khalifa al-Masih, you know.
أشهد أن محمد رسول الله.
No revenge. They put everything in the hand of Allah.
الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ألا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا. मामूल के हज़ारों खतूत से बढ़कर मुझे मिले और तमाम का मज़मून एक महवर पर मरकूज़ था जिसमें लाहौर के शहदा की अज़ीम शहादत पर जज्बात का इज़हार किया गया था. गम था, दुख था, गुस्सा था, लेकिन फ़ौरन ही अगले फ़िक्रे में वो गुस्सा सब्र और दुआ में ढल जाता था. आज हमारे शहदा की खाक से भी यकीनन ये खुशबू आ रही है, हमारे दिमागों को मुअत्तर कर रही है. उनकी इस्तिकामत हमें पुकार पुकार कर कह रही है कि जो इस्तिकामत और सब्र का दामन तुमने पकड़ा है उसे कभी ना छोड़ना. यकीनन अल्लाह ताला अपने वादों का सच्चा है.
I saw the hypocrisy of the social media and the media, and a lot of channels they just say attack happened in a temple of the Jamaat, of the Qadiani or Mirzai or something like this. I feel this is injustice. These people, they died believing that they are Muslims. No one has the right to remove this title or this honor from them. They died for this honor. They give their life for Allah, believing this is a mosque, that they believe La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. No one can take this from them by saying this is a temple. Then it come a succession of khutbah made by Khalifa al-Masih, speaking about this shuhada or Jamaat, you know, one by one. And you can say the qualities related by Huzoor about these people. Since this day, I believed in my heart that I am part of these people. I managed to write a letter to Huzoor, asking him, I read somewhere in the writing of Masih Noor, if you don't pay your chanda, like in 6 months, you are not Ahmadi. I got the answer from Huzoor Aqdas. He said that if you can pay your chanda in a country, do it. If no, when you will come out to any European countries, then you can do it. We are in the army. We are expecting to go through a lot of difficulties. And from nowhere, this kind of sign will come to you from Allah, that you might go out of the country in the future. I took it like a prophecy for myself.
The following year, he starts 40 days of special prayers of Istikhara.
Since I started Istikhara, I was like waiting for the night just to go sleep and live in this, you know, the amount of isharat and sign from Allah and dreams. It was such a beautiful period, you know. I'm no one. I'm nobody. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows me like what is coming, what we'll face, what is the end. All yeah.
الدنيا أوى حزب الأجاني وحسبوها جنى حلو المجاني فنشكو هاربين من البلايا إلى الله الحفيظ المستعان جرت حزنا عيونا من عيوني
I was like with Masih Maud every night. I saw like Khalifa to Masih, موجودة Khalifa, Eid Allah Masih Aziz. He's in our house and he's leading namaz. So when he finished the namaz, I just jumped to him and I took his hand and I did masafa with it. But the masafa was like I kiss his hand from both sides. And in the dream, I got a feeling that I will do bayat, but I have to pay for the bayat. It's my work, my dignity. I will have a lot of trail in my life. Life will not be easy. But I will be safe. Since I made the bayat, I will be safe.
The military has become aware that 3 of its officers have joined what they call an unauthorized religious organization. One of them admits everything and is sent to prison. Lieutenant Amine is taken away for interrogation.
So in the night, Allah shows me a dream. I was reading an ayah, لا يضركم إلا أذى. They will not harm you except little bit, slightly. So I know that they will not do anything. Whatever will happen, it just like it will not be any harm. But it will be a bit of stress, a bit of.
One of the other soldiers is shown similar signs of Allah's support.
Someone from the capital come to do investigation with him. He was like a colonel or something like that. This man was very harsh against the promised Messiah ﷺ. Did bad words. Plan was that this man will go in the same car.
The plan, however, changes, and the high-ranking officer goes in a separate car.
And this man went alone. So what happened that this man, he has an accident in the road and he passed away. When he has this story, he became more stronger than ever because he recalled the revelation that Allah Ta'ala gave to the promised Messiah والسلام, that I will help who is going to help you, and I will humiliate who is trying to humiliate you. So he saw this, he saw this with his own eyes. So
The general of military police himself, he was just threatening us, and they said to us that, guys, what you did, you will be severely punished, and we'll give example from you. They tried to humiliate us. They tried to break our dignity. It was not like a proper investigation. It was kind of humiliation. They will just leave you sitting there waiting for someone to talk to you, and no one will come and talk to you. Will be just left like. Basically, they try to break your ego. They will leave you like 24 hours just waiting for a chair to call you. No one will call you. Will be just there.
All the while, Lieutenant Amine and the senior officer who introduced him to Ahmadiyyat are having the same dreams and seeing similar signs from Allah.
I will say a dreams. Allah will show me a dreams. The same one, in the same way. We are going to the chair. We know this. Brother will see the same dreams. Sometimes I'll say, this happens. Say, oh yeah, this what happened also with me in the same dream. Allah even if shows us the faces of people who will be living in the jail. This is the help. This is the support of Allah. Unfortunately, people will not understand these things. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you some signs, it just to strengthen your heart. Allah was always with us, and He was like giving us sign that I am with you guys.
The time for sentencing has come.
You are in the beginning of the road to lose everything around you. Your job, your saving, your name in the society, the name within your family. And if Allah is not with us, we can't survive. They sent me to the office of one of the military prosecutor. And the gentleman, he was like straightforward with me. He said to me, you break the military code and you will be sanctioned and sent to military prison. I was like just quiet.
It was considered like a traitor to the army.
Can you imagine that, for example, you are a millionaire or a billionaire, and suddenly you will find yourself without anything, without any resources? From the peak of society, being an officer in the army, you are appointed by the king himself to a criminal in the prison. Ahmadiyyat is the true Islam itself. It's not something new, to be honest. And we were like just throwing him in the jail for being Ahmadi for 2 years. This is the human reward. Let's wait for the divine reward.
This is a big honor. And they can, the people who put them in jail, they cannot understand.
We know for sure that this is what we choose, and this is what we'll die for.
That love and loyalty to Khilafat is so deeply ingrained in their hearts, you know, and because of that, Allah is strengthening them. They get that conviction, that passion, that zeal and the courage.
Upon arriving in prison, Captain Amine sees one of the other Ahmadi prisoners.
They opened the door, so he hugged me. He was like, or like both of us emotionally, you know. And they give him afsos because his mom, she passed away when he was in jail.
अल्लाह ताला का ये ख़ास फ़ज़ल और एहसान है हज़रत मसीह मौद अलैहिस्सलाम की जमात पर कि वो आपको ऐसे जानिसार अता फरमाता रहता है जो हर कुर्बानी के लिए तैयार होते हैं, हत्ता कि नए आने वाले भी इस कुर्बानी का मज़ा चखते हैं। 2 दिन पहले ही ताज़ा अल-फज़ल में एक अहमदी अरब का वाक़या बैत का बयान हो रहा था कि अहमदियत की वजह से बाप ने उसे घर से निकाल दिया, कैदो बंद की सूरतें बर्दाश्त करनी पड़ी, नौकरी से फारग कर दिया गया, फ़ौज में था, वहाँ कोर्ट मार्शल हुआ, सख्तियाँ की गईं, माँ नाराज़ हो गई, लेकिन फिर भी ईमान पर कायम रहा।
She was sick and she passed away when he was in jail. And he cannot see her or go to her funeral. This is hurt him a lot.
All the kind of criminals are there. Killers, rapers, thieves. And you see people fighting between them. There are a lot of things going on. The door of the washroom is not there, just half. If someone sits, you can see what he's doing. So the capacity of the room was like 32. When I entered the room, I remember I was 52. So basically, I will be sleeping near the washrooms.
Of course, he lost everything, but he's the one who keep himself always in a good mood, not to be depressed, and this is good.
Some member of military police, they were so kind with us, so nice with us. We affect them somehow, positively, bro. They say this is the first time we see people like you guys. I don't know why you are here, guys. You should not be here.
He's always with people speaking there. So even inside jail, this happened to him. He was the leader in jail. He likes to play football. So he was with the football team, always winning.
Some prisoners who are like to the religion, they start to like debate with us.
He's in jail. What is going to lost? He's already in jail. I don't think he stopped to do tabligh in jail.
And he got like a lot of debate with the Salafists and with a lot of people in jail, and he always like win somehow, you know, until he met us. They were like debating with him and stuff, and subhanallah, now he's Ahmadi, mashallah. He finished his sentence and alhamdulillah is Ahmadi now.
Trapped inside a Moroccan military prison, they continue to hear the words of the Khalifa, facilitated by one of the Ahmadi prisoners.
He used to speak to his fiancée. She used to provide us like with the weekly khutbah of Huzoor, you know. So whatever we have like discussing or arguing about it all the week, it will come like through Khalifa al-Masih word, some waqa'ish was like kind of answer for us, You have to be under the blanket. Yeah, exactly. You have to be under the blanket. And we just like pretend that you are sleeping. And he used to like try to memorize whatever he can. The only connection left for us in this jail is this news about Jamaat or about Khutab of Huzoor Aqdas.
But these people prioritized their faith, that love for Khilafat, over their own ambitions, over their own interest, over their own ranking they have within the military army.
With hearts full of love, they send a message to Huzoor seeking prayers.
And he really forced her to write something about us, three of us. And she got an answer that Huzoor Aqdas, he's praying for us. And he's praying for us that may Allah give us the strength, and may Allah make some ways. Huzoor Aqdas, he said to one of the national amla of Morocco, who has met him here in London, in Fazl Mosque, that whenever I think about Morocco, I always think about these three gentlemen and I pray for them. It's only pure blessing of Allah and the acceptance of prayers of Khalifa al-Masih. This is how we survive.
Time stops for them in prison, but life outside goes on.
One of my sisters, she got a rishta proposal. And she said, I can't marry while my brother is in jail. So she got married. I forced her. I say, you should not wait for me. I have a lot of time to spend here.
Some time passes and he is moved to another prison.
She came to visit me with her newborn baby, who's like almost like 1 month old. This is when I realize that I spent time in jail. My sister, she got married. And she had the baby. And I'm looking to my nephew in front of me in my hand, I feel it. I feel the time. And it was the only time I cried. I feel so down. But, the smile of this baby and the help of my... You can't talk to anyone. You can't share your feeling. You can't show your weaknesses. You can't be weak in jail. You can't, even if like it was tough. No one before us, as a ex-military who is in jail, they don't get like maafi, pardon. So, and even if myself, I start to get like this feeling that I will be released soon. It was the first time in Moroccan history, in the jail history, that military people, they will get like maafi.
All three Asiran are eventually released, but now another prison awaits.
So basically, when you come from jail, then you have to face the jail of the society, a big jail.
He was, don't forget, they put him, like we have DBSA criminal record there, that he could never, it was impossible for him to have any high-skilled job anymore. He left a good salary. He left everything for the sake of Allah the Almighty.
You saw in your family's eyes every day this sadness, and like they don't say it to you, but you can feel it through their eyes.
I never heard complain. It's not normal, man. He participates with the United Nations. He went to Ivory Coast, to Congo for this. This military who go for peace.
If I didn't accept Ahmadiyyat, by now I will be a lieutenant colonel like my class fellow. If Ahmadi didn't come to my life, Allah forbid.
Very important person. This is what not easy. This is what not easy for them.
Yeah, it was tough. The journey was not that easy. The journey is not something that you can wish for it. But Alhamdulillah, Ahmadiyyat came to my life. Allah bless me. وَمَا أَصَابَكَ مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. Whatever is blessing is from Allah. So how can I reject a blessing?
They prefer jail. So I cannot describe. Oh, no, they are very, oh, mashallah, they are very good Ahmadis.
اليوم كل مبايع ذي فطنة ازداد إيمانا على
I booked my ticket. I am like so excited. The Ra'b of Huzoor Aqdas, it rushes you from distance. Although he's in other country but you are traveling, but you still feel like you will meet a man of God. It's like a child who will meet his father, coming from war. Even if he's in other country, you feel his Ra'b.
These people, they accept Ahmadiyyat. They want only one thing, nothing else. They want to see Khalifat al-Masih.
Amin came here with a visa, normal visa, and he met Huzoor. Then Huzoor decided to keep him here.
Huzoor saw Muhammad Amin in the mosque, of course. And then Huzoor, going back to the office, Huzoor called Muni Javed. Muni Javed is the private secretary to Hazrat Khalifat al-Masih Hayadullah, and told him, call Muhammad Amin to my office. And at the same time, Huzoor told him, call Ibrahim as well to come with him.
I got a call from a private secretary office. It was Munir Jawid Sahib himself. And he was speaking with me Arabic. He said, get ready, this evening you go to mulaqat.
However, a detractor has heard the call.
When the call finished, and he said to me, what happened? I said, I go to mulaqat in the evening. He said, wow, you just go to mulaqat in the evening. They should give you diftari mulaqat. You are coming from abroad. Despite that, he knows that I am not in any position in Jamaat. And why I will get diftari mulaqat? So he put the seed in my mind that I am already like a victim of discrimination or something. He's indirectly playing with the image of Jamaat, not just with Jamaat, with Khalifa al-Masih himself. And subhanallah, this was the first experience with Khalifa al-Masih for me. Because when I entered the mulaqat in the evening, and I was the last number, we just opened the door. When Huzoor Aqdas stood up to say, Assalamu alaikum, I was just like astonished, and he said, don't worry. The first word of Huzoor Aqdas, don't worry, I saw you in the mosque last 5 days. No one booked mulaqat for you, so I wanted to see you. And don't worry, I will see you again and again. He already read my mind. He removed the seed made by this gentleman in the morning. If I can call him a gentleman, I just kiss his hand, and suddenly I felt about hand of Huzoor Aqdas taking me up from my shoulder. And he just literally just hugged me. Then the word from me just stopped.
برا كريما محسنا بحر العطايا والجدا.
I was not Ahmadi. I didn't know much about Ahmadis. In such far place, Huzoor, there are no connection. There are no Wi-Fi. There are no desert. And Ahmadiyyat will come to you. I got this feeling in my heart that I will be standing there this man.
الظالمون بظلمهم قد كذبوه تمردا والحق لا يسع الورى إنكاره لما بدا.
I just feel the tears coming down, and Huzoor was praying in my ears a lot of prayers which I don't understand, I don't remember. I was just out of myself, or in this saga, I was just out of myself,
They live, the era of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You see Sahaba of the Prophet, easily they give their life. So this, as Iran, they have this chance to do the same. They sacrifice everything. When someone leave everything for his faith, it means this faith is not a joke. Because me too, I am a convert. I am not born Ahmadi. And I never see such devotion, such sacrifice before. I can't imagine this.
And then Huzoor just asked 3 questions. Did the army left any money for you, any pension? No, sir. Do you speak English? You can't even if look at in his face, and you want to look at in his face. And then Huzoor said, don't worry, he will speak English.
And Huzoor said, stay here, and I will arrange for you a rishta to marry here. And then Huzoor, I remember, told me, look and try, but any rishta you should come to me, inshallah.
I also understood that at the time, this man, he might not have much in terms of worldly possessions, but I had a strong faith in Allah that a person who gives up everything for his sake, Allah will never leave him alone, and Allah will provide for him in ways far greater than what he had given up.
In his next mulaqat, he experiences a special moment.
I just say in Arabic to Mu'min Sahib, say to Huzoor that I understand what he's saying in Urdu. Mu'min Sahib, كل أمير مؤمنين أنا أفهم أنه مما يقول. And guess what? Before Mu'min Sahib translate this phrase, Huzoor Aqdas, he answered in Urdu, which I understood that Huzoor say, I also understand what he's saying. And Mu'min Sahib was just like between us, like just, it was such a beautiful moment, and this is not normal, something like out of the normal. I don't know how I understand Urdu only in this mulaqat. I wish if I understood Urdu.
Huzoor, you could see Huzoor wanted him to stay in the UK. You could see it. Huzoor said, you are here now, you went through difficult times. And the love of Huzoor didn't forget and sent him a very big fruit basket. I'm not saying the fruit basket, which normal, very big, can be maybe for 7 people, 10 people, 20 people or more.
Without the help of Khalifa al-Masih and his support, I will not be here now. I will not be talking to you guys. You know that someone is like thinking about you, someone is praying for you, someone is like ready to guide you. You just need to ask and he's there to guide you guys, We don't have this out of Jamaat,
خلافتنا بمسرور فتية عظيم شأنها بين البرية
لا يكمل الرجال إلا بخدمة الرجال. If you want to be successful in life, you must serve a holy man of God.
رزقنا فيك أفضالا سنية خلافتنا بمسرور فتية عظيم.
If you firmly attach yourself to Khilafat, Allah will give you the courage and the strength to overcome hardship in your life.
إشارات لمهدينا جلية.
Now Huzoor said to him, I will announce the nikah and I will also, arrange the walima for you.
I was in tears because I felt the weight of the blessing. Huzoor is near me. And Huzoor, he noticed this and he just trying to make the atmosphere more relaxed, making some, Huzoor changing the topic, asking a few questions, just to take my attention, to bring me out from this.
I felt throughout my life with Amine that Huzoor is fulfilling the role of his father in his life.
And one of the brother, he want to do qasida. And he say, Huzoor, I want to do qasida. Huzoor, he say, why you asking him my permission? You should ask him his permission. This is his walima. I got so shy. Everyone is looking to me. And the gentleman he's standing, he need permission to start his qasida. I just say, yeah, okay. I was like, it was like, say yes. And then the gentleman, he did the qasida. I started working with Jamaat in December 2017. In one of the mulaqat, my wife, she said to Huzoor Aqdas, pray for Amine. He got opportunity of job. And then Huzoor say, yeah, it's okay, but he need permission. He's waqf. He can't work outside without permission.
Huzoor already considered him waqf zindagi because of the sacrifices that he made in his life for the sake of Ahmadiyyat.
Years after being stripped of his position by the military, Huzoor restores his rank and promotes him to captain.
When we went to mulaqat, me and her and my son, Huzoor, he stood up and he said, I was waiting for you.
And those words were very special to us because it showed that we were in Huzoor's thoughts even before arrived. So if we were in Huzoor's thoughts, that means Huzoor was praying for us as well. I remember at the beginning of the mulaqat, Huzoor pointed towards the list of mulaqat. Huzoor made a comment about the name of Amine.
I thought that Huzoor said to me, why you wrote Captain Amine? I said, Huzoor, no, I didn't write it. I didn't write anything. Huzoor said to me, Aramsey, cool down. You should, and they should write Captain Amine in the list of mulaqat. As we have Colonel Mubarak and we have Major Mahmoud, we have Captain Amine. And people, they should call you Captain Amine. And I was just like looking to Huzoor. And Huzoor, he could read in my face, like, I'm just like, Huzoor, say it again. People, they should know who you are. And people, they should know your story. And Huzoor said, Captain Amine. I said, Ji, Huzoor, Ji.
In that moment, it felt like the title that they have taken away from him, Huzoor has given it back to him, and that means a lot more to him than his actual job that he left for the sake of Ahmadiyyat.
And Huzoor has said clearly, whenever you write within the Jamaat, you should sign it by Captain Amine. And this is what I do. It was the year of my promotion to the rank of captain. In the year of investigation, 2012, I was promoted to captain. But because I was in investigation, they removed me from the list. And now, Khalifa al-Masih is calling me Captain Sahib.
كيف جددنا فتوحات الدنا كيف كل الأرض قد دانت لنا بهدى الإسلام لا سفك الدم يا أمير المؤمنين يا حبيب الملايين نحن جند الله أنصار السلام نرسل النور على كل الأنام ننشر الأمن ونسعى للوئام بهدى القرآن محي الظلم.
They are in the history of Ahmadiyyat in Morocco. They are the first and only Asira. They prefer jail. Such devotion, such sacrifice. I can't imagine this. Alhamdulillah. For his faith, this is a big honor. This is a big honor.
نحن جددنا له عهد الوفا وبه صدنا جميع الأمم يا أمير المؤمنين يا حبيب الملايين